big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'.
Canelo Alvarez previously claimed that Terence Crawford would be an easy opponent to defeat, but Crawford has now responded.
I mean, my arm's longer than his, you know?
The newly crowned world champion didn't take kindly to Alvarez's remarks, saying that Canelo isn't as good as he thinks.
I think Crawford don't give me wrong. He's a great fighter.
The pound-for-pound king fired back at Canelo Alvarez for underestimating his skills and suggesting that their much-anticipated fight would be a walk in the park.
$2 million, I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
This potential fight could become a reality, thanks to Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican boxing legend who has made it possible. His opponent? Terence Crawford, the recent victor. Crawford's bold statement has sparked excitement and speculation in the boxing world. He's ready to face Alvarez, but there's a catch. The price has to be right.
For me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So
the three-belt super middleweight champion didn't hold back when discussing the potential matchup. He acknowledged Crawford's abilities but showed confidence in his own. He said he would be open to fighting Crawford if the financial terms are appealing.
I'm in because, I don't like to fight guys like that.
Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money's right, I'm in, said Alvarez, who sees a lucrative opportunity in this potential clash. This comes shortly after Crawford's recent win, where the American boxer barely defeated David Benavidez in a controversial decision. Despite the victory, Crawford's performance left some fans unimpressed.
Just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean?
Crawford eventually responded to Canelo Alvarez's comments about their fight being easy. While Crawford was measured in his response, he quickly assessed Alvarez's abilities, stating that Canelo isn't as formidable as he thinks.
I believe in my ability.
I've just been talking, man. Canelo is a big guy. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my skills. He's heavy, but he's not a big guy. He's 5 feet 8 inches, and I'm 5 feet 8 inches. My arms are longer than his. That fight won't be easy. It'll be a good one, Crawford said.
He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8".
As a savvy businessman, Alvarez sees the potential in this matchup but emphasized that the financial terms must meet his expectations. The reported asking price for the Mexican champion is around $150 million, which is enough to buy a small island.
My arm's longer than his.
However, Crawford's team might have a different perspective on the purse split, arguing that Crawford should receive a similar payout to Alvarez. This is a bold statement, given Crawford's limited experience in major fights. In a stunning twist, the boxing world was buzzing as the dream match drew closer to reality. Alec, the mastermind behind the Riyadh season, revealed he had made an offer to Alvarez for the mega fight, urging him to accept it.
That'll work. Yeah, so if yeah, you're in. So if
both fighters are coming off recent victories. Canelo won his fight against Jermell Charlo, while Crawford triumphed over Errol Spence Jr. in a nail-biting decision. These victories have only increased the anticipation for a potential showdown. However, there's a catch: the weight. Crawford's most recent fight was at 154 pounds, while Canelo fights at 168 pounds. Still, Crawford, always the warrior, has hinted that he's willing to bulk up for the challenge.
The offer, if he is smart, he will accept it.
The potential payday is a powerful motivator. Who wouldn't consider putting on a few extra pounds for a multi-million-dollar paycheck? But first, Canelo must face a significant test in his upcoming fight against Edgar Berlanga.
If the money is right.
Despite being laser-focused on adding to his legacy, Crawford took a moment to give his thoughts on the upcoming Canelo versus Berlanga fight. I think Canelo stops Berlanga, Crawford said in a recent interview with DAZN. Berlanga could be a great champion one day, but right now, Canelo is too much.
Someday I just think,
if Canelo defeats Berlanga as expected and Crawford gets past his next opponent, the two could be on a collision course for the biggest fight in boxing. They'll both have to make the jump from 154 pounds to 168 pounds to secure the bout.
It was just too much for him.
Very rarely do we see a man, I know this fight's at 150.
The potential fight between Canelo and Crawford would take place at 168 pounds, a weight division Crawford would need to move up to. But Crawford believes his skills will make the difference.
With Canelo, if it happened, would be at 168, go up 2 divisions and win. Why is it different in Terence Bud Crawford's case?
Because skills play the big.
If everything falls into place, I have no doubt that my skills will be enough to overcome Canelo, Crawford said, expressing confidence in his ability to handle the Mexican legend.
Go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same.
Crawford surprised fans and analysts after his win over Errol Spence Jr. to become undisputed at 147 pounds, stating that he wanted to move up 3 divisions to 168 to face Canelo for his world titles. Canelo, however, has not shown much interest, stating that beating a smaller fighter wouldn't earn him the recognition he deserves and that the fight isn't on his immediate radar.
Because everybody's gonna say, it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he needs to enjoy his...
Still, Canelo has been open about money being a key factor in his decision-making, refusing to rule out the fight entirely. When asked by Matchroom in 2022 whether preparing for Crawford would be a tough challenge, he acknowledged, Crawford is tough to prepare for because he's both a southpaw and orthodox fighter. He's a very skilled fighter.
He deserves it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything, but
Canelo then shared his strategy for beating Crawford. The key is patience and working the body. I'll just stay patient, prepare like always, and work the body. Everybody targets the head, but it's very tough to hit someone like Crawford in the head.
As you guys heard, Gervonta said, I'm the face of boxing.
However, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority hinted that the mega fight could take place in either December or January in the United States. Saudi Arabia has become a major player in the world of combat sports, particularly boxing, with Alec, the face of the Riyadh season, playing a key role in making the fight happen.
Arthur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol winner, and would like to make Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Known for making high-profile deals with the UFC and bringing top-tier guests to boxing events, Alec has done it all. Now, he's aiming for another big achievement, getting Canelo Alvarez to agree to a fight with Terence Crawford. I'm working to bring Canelo in, but it will be a big fight for Crawford, Alec said. I'll talk with him in the name of the former undisputed champion. Crawford is working closely with Alec in preparation for his upcoming clash against WBA super welterweight champion, Israel Madrimov, on August 3rd in Los Angeles.
What do you think about that fight in terms of you fighting Canelo? Did you see opportunity for yourself?
Assuming Crawford wins his next fight, he believes a matchup with Canelo should follow. You've got 2 of the top fighters of this decade, not just the past year or so, Crawford said of a potential meeting with Canelo. You've got the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and you've got the #1 money man. I never like to overlook anyone. I've got a fight coming up on August 3rd, and that's where my major focus is right now.
That fight in terms of you fighting Canelo, did you see opportunity for yourself?
Most definitely.
What kind?
Canelo Alvarez proved he is still the best 168-pound fighter in the world when he successfully defended his undisputed super middleweight titles against Jamie Munguia by unanimous decision. Crawford attended the fight and shared his thoughts immediately afterward.
It was a good fight. Munguia showed his heart, determination. He just wasn't stepping in. Canelo kind of looked like he...
I thought it was a good fight, Crawford said. Munguia fought hard, but I think his inexperience caught up to him. He squared up too often and didn't move in with his punches, allowing Canelo to sit back, counter, and pick his shots. Canelo was very patient.
Number 5, of course, it is the heavyweight.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, you are in serious.
Oh, no.
You are in serious.
Alec is also planning to stage a UK versus USA 5 vs 5 boxing event in December, following a similar format to the Queensberry Matchroom 5 vs 5 event on June 1st. In this new event, a team of British boxers will face off against a team of American boxers. This is all part of Saudi Arabia's boxing chief's broader plan to improve the sport. Boxing is broken, but I think we don't need to fix everything. We just need to get things back together, Alec said.
I love the heavyweight. You can add any fighters you want as number 5 heavyweight. not fighter only from Queensberry or Mac.
Boxing once sat at the top of the global sports landscape throughout the 20th century. However, with the best matchups often relegated to pay-per-view, the sport's lack of a central governing body, and its diminishing presence in the Olympics, boxing has lost some of its popularity. We need to improve it with something new, Alec added. We have a strategic vision, and we've found untapped opportunities. We're committed to improving the market. The fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could be one of the biggest in boxing history, bringing together two titans who hold all the gold in their respective divisions. While a matchup between them once seemed impossible, recent events have moved this mega fight from the realm of fantasy into something more achievable. The potential clash between undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford could soon become a reality.
Getting up, like he like, man, I'm not giving up. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna keep getting up and I'm gonna keep fighting. So, you know, yeah, he did what he had to do to last the time that.
Canelo Alvarez boasts an impressive record of 61 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, while Terence Crawford remains undefeated with 41 wins in as many fights, including 31 knockouts. Both fighters come off dominant performances in their most recent bouts. Canelo defeated Jamie Munguia, while Crawford bested Israel Madrimov, earning his 4th world title. As a result, both fighters are in high demand, with fans and the media hyping up the possibility of a showdown. The Saudi promoter, who now holds significant influence over major boxing promotions, is determined to make sure he secures the biggest fights in the sport. His focus remains on ensuring that a matchup between Canelo and Crawford happens. Alec, who has been expanding his influence into American markets, is committed to making major fights happen. He has already planned a Riyadh season event featuring Israel Madrimov versus Crawford on August 3rd in Los Angeles. Alec is known for his deep pockets and his passion for sports, and is eager to make the biggest matchups possible, such as Alvarez versus Crawford. His goal is to fix boxing by staging the fights fans want to see, and is willing to invest significant resources to make this dream fight happen. In an interview with ESPN's Mike Coppinger, Alec said, "I will offer Canelo what I think is a fair price. If he accepts, he will deal directly with me to finalize everything. I don't want anyone in the middle. I promised Crawford a big fight, and he wants Canelo. But if Canelo is unreasonable with his financial demands, I'll still deliver Crawford a major fight." Alec, who has already made waves in the heavyweight division by organizing the Tyson Fury vs. Alexander Usyk bout, is now looking to expand his reach into the lighter weight classes. Undoubtedly, the Alvarez vs. Crawford fight is the perfect opportunity for Alec to make his mark. When asked about the financial challenge of meeting Canelo's reported asking price of $150 million, Alec was unfazed. "The price tags don't deter me," he said. As for Crawford, now 36, he's eager to face Canelo and cement his legacy. After becoming the undisputed champion at 147 pounds with a win over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford is looking to close out his career with the biggest fight of his life. He views Canelo, at 34, as the perfect opponent. Crawford discussed his desire for the fight during an appearance on Ariel Helwani's show, stating that he's determined to make the biggest fight of his career a reality.
Tongue-in-cheek, because I know Sal will fight anybody, but he also knows that that's a big fight, and it is a massive fight. It's one of the biggest in boxing.
"Canelo is going to bring so much to my reputation and my bank account," said Crawford. "I want to create a memory that people will talk about for ages, and I want a bank account that will last just as long." While Crawford predicted a victory over Canelo, recent developments suggest some tension may have emerged in their relationship. Matchroom boxing promoter Eddie Hearn was asked about the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, specifically if Canelo still wanted the fight once he's done with Edgar Berlanga. There have been rumors that Canelo is reluctant to face Crawford, claiming he wouldn't get enough credit for beating a smaller fighter.
Pay Sal the right money, he will take the fight. Whether that's 150.
Eddie Hearn responded, "I think Canelo will take any fight if the money is right. He has no fear. He definitely doesn't fear Terence Crawford. What he's more concerned about is the criticism he'll get if he wins. If Canelo wins, some people will say he beat a fighter who was 154 pounds or 147 pounds who just moved up. And if he loses, they'll say he was beaten by a 154-pounder. With Canelo, he chooses fighters with styles he likes. That's why I believe he picked guys like Bivol and Munguia. He likes fighters who come forward. He doesn't particularly enjoy facing opponents who move around."
Just look, Benavidez moved to 175. For some, not my business as to why that didn't happen, but other than that fight, tell me who else Canelo should have fought in September. He's got 2 mandatories, William Skull.
Hearn continued, Canelo's body might not be quite the same as it was when he fought Charlo, who boxed off the back foot. Canelo didn't enjoy that. He likes fighters who come to him. He's willing to fight anyone, but in his mind, there's a number he thinks each fight is worth. The question is whether that number is reasonable. Hearn was also asked about his on and off relationship with Canelo Alvarez, particularly regarding their business dealings. Canelo is scheduled to fight Berlanga next on Matchroom's card.
Berlanga, you know, a young, big punching Puerto Rican, undefeated, and he will come and give us a great...
"My friendship with Canelo is really honest," Hearn said. "I consider him a friend. He's one of the greatest fighters of our time. Pound for pound, a great, a legend. I understand him when it comes to business. We get along well, which is why we've always been able to work together. When better opportunities come up, I don't get offended. He's honest, and he'll always do what's right for him. When we signed Berlanga, I promised we would get him the Canelo fight. But sometimes we have to make decisions that benefit both sides. We didn't just choose Berlanga for the sake of it. We worked out a deal with PBC for that fight." Hearn continued to express his respect for Canelo. "It's an interesting situation, and while I'll be pulling for Edgar Berlanga, I'll always be respectful to the true great that is Canelo Alvarez.
You know, I believe he's earned the right for this fight, commercially. I told him I'd deliver him the fight. We've got it. We've got the lottery ticket. Time to make it count."
Hearn was also asked why he thought a Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez fight might not happen anytime soon. "I think, in boxing, ego sometimes comes into play," Hearn explained. "Things get said between teams, and people feel disrespected. When that happens, it's hard to move forward, or at least some people won't want to give the other person the opportunity unless the financial terms are right. I think Canelo sees the financial potential of a Benavidez fight and probably wants to build it up. He's earned the right to demand a bigger payday for such a fight. If he's going to take it, he wants to be compensated appropriately."
Just keep going. I mean, keep obviously working on these Riyadh season events, you know, and keep developing our stars in America. Diego Pacheco's coming up August 31st. I think he's a guy that could fight Canelo Alvarez in the next 12 or 18 months.
We saw Khalil Cohen from Jersey.
Great fighter. You know, Ray Ford's coming back as well.
Eddie Hearn was then asked how confident he was about delivering the Bivol versus Benavidez fight if Bivol wins against Beterbiev. He responded, "I know that His Excellency Turki Alek wants the winner of the Bivol versus Beterbiev fight to take on a cruiserweight champion as well. His Excellency has all kinds of different ideas, and I'm sure he likes Benavidez. He's a fun fighter, but I don't think Benavidez beats Dmitry Bivol, to be honest. But Benavidez is a very good fighter. Let's see if our man can do his job first against Beterbiev. There are big fights out there, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay linked with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you can be notified when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.